Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. I'm live in the school. If y'all my private members, go to the school. I'm live in the actual school. Well, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. You're now rocking to the sounds and vibrations of your boy, DONKILAM, also known as Malik Kilam. And as always, prosperity is your divine birthright. If you're tapped in and tuned in now, let me know where you're tapped in and tuned in from. Hold your questions for last. Y'all see people asking questions. Some, hey, ain't no questions. This ain't that. Hush up and listen to the man speak, because I'm dropping game when it's on my brain. I don't want to sit here and have to think about your problems and what you're going through. I'm giving you my revelation right now. If you didn't want to listen to it, you shouldn't have tapped in. But happy Sunday. And that's what we're going to talk about first. You know what I'm saying? You public peasants is what I call these motherfuckers. Well, peace and love to Hawaii. Peace and love to New York City, Utah in the building. We got Austin, Texas in the building. Let's motherfucking go. Shout out to Detroit. See, you got the mitten. See, we're right here. Shout out to the D. You hear me? Shout out to Delaware. Shout out to Baca Rotten. I don't know if I said that right, but shout out to the BR. Shout out to Cali. We're live from the A. And she's from Decatur. Yeah, that's what... Atlanta got some beautiful women, y'all. Shout out to Memphis, Sacktown in the building. Peace and love to wherever you're tapped in and tuned in from. We got a lot of people on the Instagram. The Instagram is DONKILAM _legacy. DONKILAM _legacy. We got DC in the building too. We got New Bedford, Massachusetts. Shout out to Massachusetts. They got some fire weed. It's legal too. I went to the dispensary years ago when I first became DONKILAM. Because the East Coast, that was one of the first places. I don't know if it was one of the first places where it became legal. But yeah, they had some fire trees. I was impressed. Sonolia. But yeah, man, so, you know, happy Sunday, man. And I just want y'all to know, I take time out my life. I got four offspring. Lots of tribes that I take care of. Hella children that call me daddy. You hear me? I got a lot of stepchildren. I need y'all to take this in consideration, because I offer a lot of private things to the public where some of these groups don't even want to deal with the public. And I'm starting to understand why. I got one person just crying to me about their mom. When I say text private life, those are the key words. Text private life to 702-200-4900. I don't have to shut this down, because I want y'all to know, when it comes to the public, I don't care. We don't care. So people get mad. Dude was crying to me about his mom, like a paragraph. So I'm going to expose you, DONKILAM, because I told you I don't care. You rather me fake it and take your money? Nah. You already started off with the wrong attitude. Crying to me about your problems. When you do that, you talk to a therapist. They get paid for that. You know, I'm not going to sit here all day and text back and forth about y'all problems. I don't care. Pay me to give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? If you want it to be my job, then pay me. You pay me for that to be my job. I don't know you people. Don't want to. Unless you're paying me. Now we're family because you're feeding my family. A lot of people don't understand that, though. We're out here. We moving and grooving on the corporate table. You feel me? We're in the corporate room. You feel me? But yeah, I hope that makes sense to everybody. A lot of people ain't gonna make sense, because I want you to know. You're talking about that's unprofessional. Well, check this out. It's unprofessional if you're not texting private life to 702-200-4900. That shows me you don't know how to follow instructions. That shows me you don't know how to follow instructions. If you want to come to my school, you're going to follow instructions. Because if you need me, you're going to have to pay for a consultation. There's 24 hours in one day. So just think about how many people I can truly give a consultation to. And still get sleep, and still eat, and still have a normal life. So if you're not paying me, I'm not going to sit around and talk and text you motherfuckers all day. Anyways, I can't text you this information. There's no way you can text this information. And this shit is not Googleable. So when you're asking me questions via text, I'm not Google. I'm going to talk to you bad. Or if it's my AI set up to talk to you, it's going to talk to you bad. Whatever it may be. Because we don't give a fuck. Quit wasting time. Trustee training. That's what I do. I raise up trustees. I raise up people in the private to go get the bag and protect their assets. I put enough information on DONKILAM.com. That's free. DONKILAM.com, that is free. DONKILAM.com, that is free. I had to say it 3 times for you free motherfuckers. You go figure it out and go get a bag. If you can't understand it, you need to talk to your maker. You need to talk to your maker because I work for God. I work for God. So when I work for God, so check this out. They'd be like, you're not professional. Who says, who defines professional? Oh, because you have to kiss a motherfucker's ass all day at work because you work for a motherfucker, right? You work for a motherfucker, so if you're not professional, you get fired. Guess what? I work for God. And God said, when you go against his tribe, you go against his people, he offs whole families. He offs whole tribes. He offs whole fucking villages. You understand? Ain't that what happens in the Bible? Are we not reading the same Bible? I work for God. So try to go against me and take from mine, we have to off your village. You understand? That's life. That's life. Quit playing. So quit thinking everything in life. We look for handouts, not hand-ups. All right? Everything on DONKILAM.com is free. Figure it out. If you can't figure it out, you need to talk to a different guy. Because I want y'all to know the private life is common sense. The private life is common sense. What is natural law? Natural law is common sense. What is universal law? That's common sense. See, y'all stuck in codes and statutes. Y'all not stuck in common sense. Y'all can't even think these days. You can't even think. You're going to Google trying to get all your information, and you think somebody is supposed to owe you answers for free because Google ain't telling you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Google ain't telling you nothing. You think I'm Google. I'm not Google. Your parents are supposed to teach you this. Your mom's supposed to teach you this. Your dad's supposed to teach you this. So when somebody's crying to me about their mom, my mom died last year, so I really don't give a fuck. Where's the sympathy for me? Life still goes on. You understand? Your mom was supposed to teach you this information. So you come from an uninformed family. You understand? If love did the trick, we'd all be there, right? So you got to understand private family business trust. That's what you need. A private family business trust. Because family law is private law. And I've been screaming this. Y'all don't even understand family law. Y'all don't understand the definition of family. So why the fuck do I want to talk to you? Family law is private law. Families hand down wealth, not individuals. Families hand down wealth, not individuals. Y'all want to learn more? Text Private Life to 702-200-4900. I'm going to give you the links. Don't text anything else. Text Private Life. That's the key words. Or your number gets blocked. How you start off the relationship is how it's always going to be. So if there's confusion in the beginning, I step away. If you're messaging me, you're talking about this person scammed me and this, I cut that shit short. I don't want to hear that shit. Why are you bringing that energy? All we do is talk about abundance and prosperity. Blame yourself for leading yourself. Sometimes we need to take self-accountability. We need to take accountability for what our actions in life. Nobody forced you to do a thing. Because I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to understand that there's no self-promotion. Let me just turn off these comments because I'm tired of that shit. There is no self-promotion in my shit. Don't be asking me questions, none of that shit. So I'm just going to turn off the comments. Y'all want to ask questions, book a consultation. Go to my school, school.com/DonKilam. SKOOL.com/DONKILAM. I'm tapped in. I'm live in the school right now. I got Steve Martinez in the building. So family law is private law. And I'm not a licensed attorney taxes, but I do this for educational informational purpose only. I'm just telling y'all this right now. I'm not professional. Whatever you consider professional is, I'm professional for me. I do what's best for me and my family. As far as it comes to the public, I don't have to do anything for the public. You're supposed to be for the people. None of this information is supposed to be free. Well, go get it. If it's free, go get it. Go get it on your own. Instead of wasting my time. You understand? Because I don't owe anybody anything. You understand? So why were trusts created? And this is common sense when you think about these things. You have to sit down and think and talk with your God. Talk with your maker on who you call God. Understand that individuals cannot hand down wealth. Individuals cannot hand down wealth. Families hand down wealth. So why were trusts created? To protect our family. It's I'm not gonna get deep, but it's esoteric. It's a form of spell casting. So family business is family law is private law, and then family is business, and business is family. So trusteeship is learning how to make the family trust do what you used to do. It's going to pay family expenses. It's going to pay for your children's education. Because I need you to understand, in a public education, you're not going to be, you're taught to be a slave. That's what the education system is here to do. To enslave your mind and have you to continue to grow the system. Because you got to understand, under the Social Security trust, you are a beneficiary. Even though you're acting as trustee, the true trustee on the record, the administration, is the government. The trustees call the shots within the trust, and this is why we think the government controls us. This is why we think a government has a say-so in our lives, and they don't. It's just you're under the public trust. You're under the SSKI trust. You're under the Social Security trust. You understand? So everybody should be learning family business. Everybody should be knowing that your family is a business. As soon as you turn on the light switch, as soon as you get a drink of water out your faucet or whatever you may be using, you're taking a shower, you have to pay for that. As soon as you wake up in the house, you're paying taxes on or some type of rent on. That's going to fund the government, all right? Which is private families. Private families created the government. Y'all call them founding fathers, but they're private families. They're private families. Now, I'm not with the questions all that. Y'all got questions? I'm going to kick y'all out. But if y'all understand what I'm talking about, let me get a 100 fire emoji. Private families run the government. Say, private families run the government, or give me a fire emoji, or give me 100 sign. I know you're following along, because people call them founding fathers. Private creates the public. I've been saying this for years, too. The private sector is a part of the economy that the government does not control, and the public sector is the part of the economy that the government does control. There's no food stamps right now. That's the public sector shut down. The government's not going on. That's private. That's the public. But on the private side, the private is they're thriving. They're alive and well. Private business is still thriving. All right. Actually, during scares and pandemics and things like this, private business is going to do more numbers than anything. They're going to be better than ever because all transactions and everything's going on in the private. Guarantee. When there's dry counties, people are selling alcohol. Before weed was legal, everybody had weed. That's the private life. You understand? The Amish is always going to keep cannabis because you cannot make them get a license because they're private. You can't make the license. You cannot make the Amish get a license to grow marijuana or cannabis. They can do that, all right? I'm not going to get deep into this, but just let me know that makes sense. Now, Amish is part of the private sector of the economy. You can Google these things. Google private sector. Google public sector, so y'all know that it's not something that I'm just making up. I'm not going to go through the shit today. I'm just going to preach to y'all today on what's on my heart. This is my pro bono work that I do, so don't ask me for shit. I come here and give y'all game all goddamn day. Y'all should have been taking notes when I go live. Y'all see the replays. Take notes, or because don't come at me asking me for shit. Go to DONKILAM.com, and I got a free. See, you're asking questions already. You're getting kicked out of my class. Bye. I ain't gonna cuss you out today, bitch. My bad. Bitch means female dog. But that's what you act like, begging, asking questions. So I need y'all to understand, and what's done in the dark comes out the light. So if you quit playing with yourself, you won't be playing with yourself out here. All y'all do all day is play with yourself. So when you come out to the public, you play with yourself. You're playing games with yourself. What's done in the dark comes out to light. So what are you doing in the dark? I'm just going to let that sit down because everything is spiritual. Put God first. Faith without works is dead. Faith over fear. So what are you doing in the dark? If all you do is watch pornography and think about bitches all day, when you come out in the real world, that's what your focus is on. So what are you doing in the dark? So let's just set that right there, you nasty motherfuckers. Learn how to be business. You are the business. So learn yourself. Learn yourself. Learn your shadows. Learn your light, okay? Understand that family law is private law. So, when you understand how to create your family correctly, I create pass-through entities such as LLCs and holding companies as well. I create family foundations. I like to move like the Warren Buffett way. His wife, his charitable family charity was the Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation. Susan Thompson Buffett is gone, and the Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation is still taking care of the family to this day. To this day. So family is business. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So you can't tell me your name is not the business. Your name is the business. You just got to take it from the public aspect and learn how to control it in the private. I don't like to play with the devil, so one of my homies speak. The Amish don't like to play with the devil. We do unincorporated associations, 508c1a, ministry trust. You understand? I'm giving y'all the game. Y'all should be taking notes right now. There is no question. You got questions, book a consultation. Text Private Life to 702-200-4900 if you have questions. Text Private Life to 702-200-4900 if you have questions, because I'm giving y'all the game. If you don't understand it, it's not for you. You're not ready for it. You need to catch up. You need to join the private school. DK's Private Business Circle at school.com/DONKILAM. You understand? So everybody should be using the family business and the family business trust for their family. All right? Trusteeship is how to make the family trust do what you used to do. It's going to pay family expenses. It's going to pay your children's education. Not the free education. You want the private one, all right? Anything you do, you can get these credits back. The family trust is going to do what you used to do. It's going to pay for the family vehicles. It's going to pay for family housing. A trust is a distinct, separate entity from a person. A person is a persona. And everybody that has a birth certificate and a social security card and a driver's license or ID is made into a persona. And those are three different entities. On and for the record. Now these are public entities. They was made in the private, and now the public entities can use them because you signed for these contracts. You got to understand, anything you sign in America or you're dealing with the government is a contract. Contract law runs the government. They're under bankruptcy. Look this up. Look how much is the American national debt? Google this. Go ahead and step off real quick. Ask Google, how much is the U.S. national debt? Is America under bankruptcy? Any of these things. Come back and let me know that I'm telling the truth. America's under bankruptcy. Let me get a fire emoji. Let me get a 100 and say, America is under bankruptcy. USA is under bankruptcy. Because when you understand this, then you can start understanding, and scratch that for the record. You'll start understanding, you'll start overstanding that the United States is a federal corporation. The United States is a federal corporation. Can a natural person be in debt? Think about it. Was our ancestors in debt? You can only get in debt with people, truthfully. But at the end of the day, a natural person can never be in debt because God provides everything that you have. Everything is supposed to be barter and trade. Nuck pro tunk. You cannot receive nothing. You cannot receive something for nothing. In the private, I'm going to give you this and you're going to give me that. So when you go to the store, I give you cash, you give me whatever. It used to be gold and silver, okay? So cash used to represent something tangible. So if you had cash, you actually had some gold or silver. Credit is not money, okay? Credit is not money. So I need y'all to understand with using the Social Security number, the Social Security number is a form of a discharging mechanism. It's a public trust and it benefits the public. It's not for you. The government is not going to create something that's for you. A lot of people say, I'm going to claim this birth certificate. I'm going to put it in my private trust, da. Remember this. This is the rule. You can only control what you create. He says the U.S. has been bankrupt since 1933. Thank you for that, L. Bay Donnell. So you can only control what you create. Did you create this Social Security trust? Did you create the birth certificate? I think not, okay? You can create your own family trust, though, okay? Who is the grantor of the Social Security trust? You don't know. It is for the public. I need y'all to sit here and think and ponder this, because a lot of the gurus out here in the public are telling you wrong. I'm not here to argue with them. I'm just in the private doing what I do. I don't have to worry about my family. I don't have to worry about if I'm going to get a client or none of that, because I help people in the private, been doing this for years, got plenty of tribes. I'm always going to thrive, okay? Because we're established correctly. The Jewish are established correctly. The Amish are established correctly. You understand? The Mormons are established correctly. The Catholic Church is established correctly. The Jewish people are established correctly. There's over 100 types of trusts in the public. This is why you need to learn the private life. However, we operate from a private family business trust. Let them know they ask questions, I kick you out, buddy. Quit asking me questions. Text private life to 702-200-4900. I kick you out with all that questions, all that bullshit. I cut these motherfucking comments back off. Shit, people. I'm not your mama, I'm not your daddy. You can ask your daddy for free. You can ask your mama for free. This is private game handed down by private families. And this is why you're not part of the club. You're sitting here still asking questions. Go ask Google. You can ask them for free. You can ask your mama for free. You can ask your daddy for free. Your baby mama for free. Your baby daddy for free. But with me, you're going to pay a fee because I'm dropping game right motherfucking now, and you're interrupting me asking fucking questions. Get a pen or something, a tablet, something, start taking fucking notes. Because if you can't make this shit click, it says right in the fucking, this is common sense. Private life is common sense. But y'all still asking Google questions. You got to get around private individuals that's implementing this life. This is how you learn. You get around the people that live this shit. And they're not going knocking on the door saying, hey, come into the private club. You got to prove yourself worthy. You understand? What's special about you? Why would they want to do anything private with a motherfucker that's in the public begging? That's what homeless people do. They beg. Hey, can you help me, Don? Can you answer this question? Can I get $5? No, get the fuck off. Nigga, y'all should be paying me right now for dropping this fucking game that you don't know. Text private life to 702-200-4900. Click the link in the bio. If you got questions, I'm kicking you out. I will block you. I don't like that fuck nigga energy. Shit. As king, I don't answer to anybody. You understand? So, Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. A state or a government cannot interfere with a private contract. You got to understand. Think about this. The Bill of Rights, the Articles of Confederation, not the Bill of Rights. The Articles of Confederation is what created the government before the Constitution. The Constitution is amendments. Amendment means to change. That's why I don't even like to use the Constitution. Articles of Confederation. You got the first articles. Article 3 is the court system. But Article 1, Section 10 breaks down that the government or a state cannot interfere with a private contract. As long as you're not hurting nobody, you can do what you will. As long as you're not damaging property, you can do what you will. So the government can't interfere with private family business. Family law is private law. Google this. Is family law a private law? Hey Siri. Is family law a private law?
Okay, I found this on the web for is family law private law?
Hold on. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Mm-hmm. I got too many phones going on. Hey Siri. Is family law a private law?
Family law is a subtype of private law that regulates domestic interactions.
This
answer is from study.com.
Can you repeat that, Siri?
Family law is a subtype of private law that regulates domestic interactions.
Family law is private law. Does everybody agree? Let me get a 100 fire emoji. Let me know. Since y'all want to comment so bad, I'm trying to teach y'all a game. So, understanding this, who can get you out of jail before you're at the age of majority? Your parents. And the same thing, your parents can determine when the age of majority is. So truthfully, all children are private until the birth certificate makes them public, though. But the mother can keep you private. There's different ways you can utilize. We use baby land deeds instead of birth certificates. We do not authenticate the birth certificate. You can only control what you create. That is their documents. Where's your document? You can be identified with a family Bible. That's a family record. A family Bible is a family record. People don't comprehend the use of the Bible. The King James Version is the lineage of kings all the way from King James. You understand? The lineage of kings. Where's the lineage of your kingdom? Where's the lineage of your kingdom? The Amish have the lineage of their kingdom. The Jewish have the lineage of their kingdom. The Mormons have the lineage of their kingdom. Where's the lineage of your kingdom? The Moors have their lineage. They go all the way to the tribe of Lot. You come from the 12 tribes if you're using the Christian Bible. Which tribe do you come from? You're not white and black. You cannot never say this is a people. And this is what's putting you part of the public trust where they can control you. United States citizen means United States business. So if you're claiming you're a U.S. citizen, you are United States business. I hope this makes sense. This is federal codes and statutes. United States business means U.S. citizen. So for everybody that's new, you have to learn how to become a national or tribal. Either or. But the first step towards freedom, I would say, is a nationality. Because nationality is oath to your state or your country. And people don't understand that their country is their state. Texas is a country. America is a continent. The USA is a corporation. You got North America, you got South America. So Mexico is Americans. Brazilians are Americans, but they claim that they're Brazilian because that is their country. People claim that they're Hawaiian because that is their country. People claim that they're Alaskan because that is their country. People claim that they're a New Yorker because New York is their country. I hope this is making sense. Demographics is the graphic demon, so this is how they control us. I'm going to say that one more time for everybody that flew past their head. Demographics is the graphic demons, and this is how they control you. Why are you using zip codes? To put you under a federal jurisdiction? I'm going to ask you one more time because I gave you the answer. Why are you using zip codes to put you under a federal jurisdiction? When you utilize their system, listen, I need you to understand, your name is not who you are. This is a name of record. The name is not who you are. It's a name of record. So this is what we're learning how to control. This is what we're learning how to control. Because your true essence of who you are should not even be given to the public. You don't know the Amish's name because they don't have a name of record for the public record. They got it on the private. When you're part of the tribe, we know who you are. Everybody knows in the public. That's DONKILAM. You understand? I hope this is making sense. Drop a 100 fire emoji. The name is a legal entity for the record. It's a name of record so they can capture your essence and tax it. Okay? There are hundreds of trusts in the public. We do not utilize public trust. Your Social Security number is a public trust. 60K by trust. All right? Hope this is making sense. Everything else can be considered an express trust or a constructive trust when you're dealing with government forms. All right? When you have a private trust, you can create your own forms. When you have your private business, you can create your own forms. Here, fill this out. You understand? People don't understand that. They're not understanding that. The government gives you a form from their corporation. That's a corporate form. And now you're bound to the terms and agreements because everything with the government is a contract. Contract is law to the government. They're under bankruptcy. They have no money. All they can do is contract with you. And they pledge your labor. They pledge your labor for this. All right? So families created the Articles of Confederation, private family. So family law is private law. The private sector of the economy is what creates the public sector of the economy. Public sector, public housing, public assistance, public defender, that all means government. So under the private family contracts, I use the private family contracts, the private family trust, the private businesses, that pays for my meals, that pays for my housing, that pays for my wardrobe, because you have to look good for the family business. That pays for the vehicles, because it's family, I got to get around. And that pays for the education. So family is business and business is family. It costs to take care of your family. So the trust is to take care of the family. I'm a PhD as well, peace and love. She says she never heard any of this information and she has a PhD and she could shed a tear right now. Be sure to tap into the private life, tap into the school, school.com/DONKILAM. We're in Atlanta, Georgia. Free private life event, November 14th. Then November 15th, we're having private trustee training. You have to pay for the private trustee training on the 15th. Right now, it's cheap. The price is going up. Each ticket admits 2. So the wealth gets passed on to a family charity or a contract instead of your offspring. Because if you're using your offspring's name, if it's not a business or set up correctly, we make our names a business. We make our names a business. The links are in the bio. Not answering questions, I'll kick you out this. That's what I'm telling y'all. I'm going to keep telling y'all, man. Listen, text Private Life to 702-200-4900. It's a shame I got to keep repeating myself with this bullshit. Text Private Life. It's pinned right there. 702-200-4900. Or click the link in the bio. Do not stop me when I'm flowing. Asking you fucking questions. I hate that shit. Trustee training is about problem solving anyways. If you can't problem solve and get to where I'm at, let's kick this motherfucker out too. Because I just said don't ask questions. Boom. Get out my shit's crazy. And I got so much game I want to give y'all for free. This is free 99 game. I charge $500 an hour right now for consults. And it's usually $1,000, $2,000 an hour. I help multimillionaires. I've helped billionaires. A handful of billionaires get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I know what I know. I'm good at what I'm good at. You know what I mean? So y'all got to understand, man. Quit fucking up the flow. The shit's crazy. That's why I barely come to the public and drop game no more. When it comes to the private, though, you don't need to register with the state because the state can't interfere with your private obligation. And we can go back to Gregory versus Hevery because you got to understand, we call this substance over form. Forms over substance, okay? Substance over form. Gregory versus Hevery is a Supreme Court decision concerned with U.S. income tax law. The case is cited as part of the basis for 2 legal doctrines, the business purpose doctrine and the doctrine of substance over form. You got to understand the forms create the law. So you have to have your forms in place. You have to have these things in place before you even operate these businesses. So if you're operating in the private with the private contracts, that is the law. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. In the private, there is no debt. It's all credit and full faith. In the private, there's no debt. There's no debt. We don't do debt. That's public. The public is about debt. And in the public, it's not a protected position because the creditors can come in and seize your assets. When you're using the public Social Security trust, you can sue and be sued. That is the public business. You can sue a public business and be sued as a public business. And that's what's going on when you're using the Social Security Trust Fund. In the private, wealth is private. You cannot confiscate certain golds. You can't confiscate silver, rhodium, and platinum when it's under a private trust correctly. All right? You're protected because your name doesn't own it. The family owns it. Your name doesn't own it. The family owns it. Family trust grows quickly and gets business offers and loans when you're doing it correctly in the private. When you learn how to furnish data when you're using the private trust to do business in the public, you can't do these things. I like to use LLCs and pass-through entities as well. But you're going to always, with the private, you're going to always do arm's length dealings. And you always control things you never own. And this is about tax avoidance versus tax evasion. Tax avoidance is not illegal. Tax evasion is illegal. So we're setting up in a position to hand down our wealth tax-free. That's all being a private family is being in a tax-free position and being able to hand down generational wealth. It's your job as a trustee to grow the trust. It's your job as a trustee to grow the family. It's family business. Grow the family, grow the trust. That's what the Bible says. Multiply. When it comes to education, the family trust is going to pay for the education for you to grow the trust. So therefore, it gets an education tax credit back. All right? And then, I'm not going to get too deep in these, but these are things y'all need to learn about. Private placement accounts, PPMs. You put real estate, holding companies, insurance policies. These are all private. This is the private side. Even though you hear real estate, when you're doing it from the holding company and private family trust and land trust, it's different, all right? But look up insurance policies, holding companies, and real estate, PPMs, and private placement accounts. Learning how to invest in yourself is the greatest asset. So the trust creates the insurance policy, and the trust is the beneficiary, so that the trust can have capital to keep the trust alive if the trustee passes. The trustee is the asset, and now the trust is paid. Understand that the trustee is the asset. Your labor is the asset. You don't need anything starting off. Your labor is the asset. This is why we have insurance policies, and the trust is the beneficiary. The trust gets the capital once the trustee passes to replace the trustee. All right? The trustee is not growing the trust, so this will hold down the trust for a while. You feel me? Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, everybody. That's $1 million worth of game right there. Insurance contracts or private contracts, know that. But the trustees can take a salary or take a lump sum or reinvest it when you're putting capital into the trust, all right? Endowments is another way we hand down wealth through the trust. And that's to preserve our legacy, our family legacy. We like to create family libraries. Because you got to understand, the family trust is there to preserve the family lineage. It's there to preserve the family history. Everything. You should still be having photo albums, family paintings. You shouldn't be putting everything on Facebook and Instagram. Because your name is your legacy. Families run the world. Charities run the world. The government is a charity program. That's why everybody's freaking out right now. They got the government been shut down. Ain't no food stamps. All you hear about the government doing is giving away billions of dollars to different countries and all this. The government is a charity program. All right? You got to understand, charities run the world. Families run the world. Understand this. It's always private families. And so the schools, the hospitals, these were all set up based on endowments and charities. Understand that. So when you learn how to play this game correctly, you can become one of the elite families too. You should be donating to your local police department, your local hospitals, all of that from the private family trust, and you'll be treated different. You'll be treated as a family, a private family. You won't be treated as a U.S. public citizen, which when you're using that name, you have no rights. You have no rights using that Social Security number. You have no rights. Your rights will be handed to you because you're owned. You're a beneficiary. You're receiving handouts. All a beneficiary does is wait for a handout. That's all beneficiaries do. They wait for handouts. Trustees put in the work and grow the trust. Being a beneficiary is a public education mindset. We're not here to benefit. We're here to be trustees. We control everything and own nothing. As a beneficiary, you cannot own anything. You have no say. You can't call shots. I hope that makes sense. That's what I got for y'all today. Text Private Life to 702-200-4900. Again, text Private Life to 702-200-4900. That's the game I have for y'all today. Tap into the school at school.com/DonKilam. That's SKOOL.com/DONKILAM. We will be in Atlanta, Georgia, November 14th and 15th. November 14th is free. It's open to the public, so y'all can get a little game. Tap the link in my bio. at the Instagram at DONKILAM_legacy, DONKILAM_LEGACY, or just click the link in the school. It's pinned. When you join the school, sign up on the Eventbrite and join us in a land of much peace and love.